What's up YouTube, today from wargames. We're here with Joe, and Joe is bringing us, as requested, an updated magnet deck profile. So yeah, without further ado, Joe, take it away.
So to go through, we got the 3 Alpha, the electromagnetic warrior, 3 Beta, the electromagnetic warrior, and 2 Gamma, the electromagnetic warrior. So the reasons I've gone for these ratios of these 3 is just because it's the most consistent. Though part of me wants to up Gamma to 3 just because I can see it more in the graveyard and stuff like that, and it's more targets for Delta's Banish, but in testing this has just been very consistent. So you got your Alpha to search your Magna Warriors, you got Beta to search for your Magnets, and Gamma can just special summon them from the hand, the Magnet Warriors, but you won't use that effect that much. So that's those 3. Then you've got the 3 Delta, the Magnet Warrior. Delta's just really good card. On normal or special summon, you can send a level 4 lower Magnet Warrior from your deck to the graveyard. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can banish 3 level 4 lower Magnet Warriors from your graveyard, except Delta, the Magnet Warrior, and special summon 1 Valkyrian from your hand or deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. You can use this effect once per turn. So he just sets up your graveyard. He's like the Foolish Berry on legs. Very easy to get either onto the field and then sent to the graveyard. There's many ways of doing it, either through the field spell and other means. But he's just a really good all-around card, and you've got to play it at 3. Now I play 3 of the normals just because I really like the normals. Though at times I will admit they have been a bit bricky, but I like the additional targets for Delta. And these I just thought were just a nice little addition to the deck. Just in case on the very rare occasion you could then just summon Valkyrian naturally, and then you can just use this effect naturally just to get all these guys out. And nowadays with links and all that, this is just a nice little link free straight away, but they're very good. My Magna ratio is 3 Bastillions and 2 Valkyrian. This is the ratio that I personally like, though I have seen people drop Bastillion to 2, but this is the ratio I just personally enjoy. Bastillion is the easiest one to summon, just requires you to banish from hand, field or grave. The 3 electromagnets, and then it's just got some nice popping effects. Valkyrian in testing, I've actually summoned in testing in one match Valkyrian more than Bastillion. Which is just quite weird for me, but that's just what you get with Delta, the Magnet Warrior. But Valkyrian's just nice, it's also part of the fusion setup. And I play 2 non-monsters in terms of Magnet Warriors, which is 1 Block Dragon and a Doki Doki. Block Dragon is just another additional boss monster from the deck. For the deck, you can banish 3 Wok monsters, the 3 Earth monsters from your hand and or graveyard. You cannot special summon by other ways. Wok monsters you control cannot be destroyed except by battle. And if this card is sent from field to graveyard, you can add up to 3 Wok monsters from your deck to your hand, whose total levels equal 8. So he's a nice additional searcher for the deck and another boss monster, while also being protection. A 2, 5 and a 3k body is just very nice. And the reason I got the Doki Doki is not only for Doki Doki's effect, but it's also for Block Dragon's effect. So if Doki's still in the deck and Block Dragon's gone to the grave, I can then search 2 electromagnets and the Doki Doki, which is a very nice option for the deck. Because ideally you want to see the electromagnets first, and mostly, other than everything else. But Doki Doki's is a really nice card. You can discard 1 Wok monster from your... You can discard 1 Wok monster, special summon from your deck, 1 Earth, 1 Wok monster that is the same original attribute and level as the monster in face of attack or face and defense. So it's a nice additional summon to the field. You can get your electromagnets off, you can get your Delta off, and it's all around good. So that's the monsters of the deck. Moving on to spells and traps now. I think the best card in the deck is Magnetic Field. If you control a Wok monster, you can special summon 1 Magnet Warrior from your graveyard who's level 4 below. So already you can get your a free search of a Magna, free search of a Magnet, and a free mill just by controlling a rock monster, which is just amazing in this deck. But also, if a rock monster battles and the opponent's monster isn't destroyed, you can, I think, just bounce it. We can turn it to the hand. Yes, you can return it to the hand. It's a nice little piece of removal. It's a really nice, amazing field spell. I play it at 3 because you want to see it in your opening hand because it helps you swarm. But I play one additional field spell, which is Fusion Recycling Plant, just because it can search my poly, as well as add materials back that I've used for fusion summons. So it's just a nice field spell for your 3 terraformings to make them most consistent. And then the 2 polys, because I like the fusion. The fusion's just really, really, really strong. And the fact that Magnet Warriors can swarm from the extra deck, well, not entirely swarm, but can summon from the extra deck quite a bit. Ideally, if you can get the fusion out, you're fine. 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Dark Hole, and 2 MSTs for spells. For traps, I play 2 Magnet Conversion. Target up to 3 level 4 lower magnets in your graveyard, add them to your hand. And then during either player's turn, except the turn this card is sent to graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target one of your banished level 4 lower magnets, and special summon it. So it's just a nice little recursion and special summoning from the banished zone, which you do quite a bit. More from graveyard though, I do play 2 back to the front, so just get your magnets back, get their effects off and go. Then I play 1 Torrential Tribute and 1 Rock Bombardment. It's just an additional way of like foolishing a monster into the graveyard, which you need, while doing a little bit of a chip damage. Just my personal tech choice. The extra deck is completely up to you. This is just some things that I advise. So obviously you got your fusion if you're playing the poly. The best rank 3 for the deck is Gorganic Guardian, being able to reduce the opponent's monsters to 0 and then pop them, which is really, really nice. Other rank 3s I suggest are Giga Brilliant, Metcrypt Anganeer, and the Quantum. And for links, which I think you can now just put a lot in the extra deck now, just tons of links, is like things like Garnet Saber, Decode Talker, Mrs. Radiant. I would suggest maybe like 2 copies of Mrs. Radiant. Proxy Dragon is quite nice, and the Link Spiders if you're playing the normal monsters. But that's the deck.
Cool. So very straightforward on that one. It's just something a bit different for you guys to kind of play around with between now and obviously Circuit Break coming out. Or if you feel that the meta gets a bit dry, if it does in fact turn out to be just all spirals, which again we can't really, the speculation is there, but there's no guarantee that that will be the case with after Circuit Break. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and until next time, guys, as always,
happy dueling.
If you like that video, why not check out our other videos available? We've got more deck profiles, pack openings, and of course duels. And don't forget to click on the most important button of all, that subscribe button, right in the bottom left-hand corner.